Hey guys, thanks for checking out my channel Maverick's Arcade. Today we're going to be installing a GameCube emulator, and one of the most popular GameCube emulators is the Dolphin emulator. Now this emulator does do Wii emulation as well. I've not been able to successfully try that because I haven't been able to get the joysticks or the nunchucks for the Wii set up yet. Something I plan to do in the future, but right now we still have a Wii in my son's room that he plays, but in any case, we're going to continue with the GameCube emulator. My daughter's having a party or having a friend spend the night tomorrow, and I know she loves the Mickey Mouse game, so got to get that installed for her. So, first thing we're doing is let's flip over to the arcade screen so you guys can see that. And we've got that up there. Now, remember, I'm in the process of rebuilding all of my emulators, and I'm trying to organize the files for a change. Originally it was set up in a very fast-paced motion. So on the D drive, I have a folder called emulators, and I'm going to make a new folder because it's going to be GameCube. And in there, I'm going to make a folder for Dolphin. Now we're going to go to an emulation website, download the emulator. And again, I have a VPN running on the system. This system completely always goes through the emulator, so I don't have to like turn it on. It's not a client, something like that. It's just the way my network's set up. But I definitely recommend whenever you're doing anything online, not just downloading stuff, but anything online, use a VPN. So we're going through GameCube now, and here's Dolphin, and the current version is 5.0. Now again, because I want to make sure to support future possible different versions of the emulator, I'm going to go into the Dolphin folder. I'm going to make a folder called 5.0. And that's where I'm going to put all my Dolphin files. So we're going to let that finish downloading. And then we're going to go ahead and install it. Now, okay, so finished downloading. And also what I want to show you is just so that you know, on my ROMs drive, I've already copied over my GameCube ROMs. So they all exist right in here. So now we go to launch Dolphin. Once that launches, I'll close the browser and give you a little more room to see over here. So, English. Yep, we agree to install that stuff if it needs it. And now we're going to change our install location. So I'm just going to copy the path straight from here. Again, most of the time the emulators are self-contained, but this one does have a Windows installer, and I believe it does access Windows resources like the registry and so forth. So it's not as portable as some of the other emulators. So we're going to go ahead and install that there. Let it do its thing. Didn't want to be too similar to the original song, you know. Alright, so that's set up now, so we're going to go ahead and close these folders, and we're going to hit finish. Now, I have a little Dolphin icon up here, but if you guys have seen in the other videos, I'm trying to keep a toolbar down here. Open folder. So the toolbar is actually located on eToolbar's emulators, but all my little icons I'm going to stick in there. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I'm going to be running a front end. But if I close the front end and I want to access the emulators directly, I can now do it from here. The front end's not yet installed, so we're going to configure everything. Well, you always configure it through Dolphin first. Then you plug in your emulator later. So we're going to go ahead and close this, and it should have launched. But it did not. Interesting. This might be something that requires admin rights. You want to authorize report information? No. Okay, so that's interesting. Now, before, on the previous arcade, the account that I ran the arcade under had full administrative rights. So I've not experienced this issue before, but it looks like when I tried to launch Dolphin, okay, it worked that time. I guess it was just not finished before. So anyway, let's see here. So we're going to go into options, configure. And there should be, there it is, paths, ISO directories. So we're going to add, we're going to go to the place where I store my ROMs, GameCube, and we're going to select to go ahead and search subfolders, just because one day for some reason I might have a subfolder in there. I don't know. Well, we'll just put that in there anyway. So we're going to first hit OK on that, let it do its scan. So it's looking at all the various ROMs that I've got. It's going to populate that list. Then we're going to go back and we're going to configure default controls, things like that. All right, so we've got that there. We're now going to go back to options. We're going to go back to configure. We're going to look here, enable dual core. This is an old emulator. Yes, we have many more than dual cores, but yes. Enable cheats. Action replay cheats and gecko cheats. Sure. Attempt to detect and skip wait loops. Yeah, sure, we'll leave it checked. Enable usage. No, none of your business. CPU emulator engine. We're going to leave it at its default. So yeah, so we're going to force the console as NTSC. So let's see, forces. Okay, so we don't want to force NTSC-J, that's for Japan, and we want to leave it unchecked, and it'll force the United States NTSC, which is, again, it'll emulate the screens of a 4x3 TV for which that console was made. So confirm on stop, we do not want that checked. That we want to be able to exit the emulator, especially when we do have our front end running, without it asking for confirmation. On-screen display message. Yeah, we can leave that on the front end. Now, the one thing is whenever it does writes, it'll show up on the screen. That may take away from the emulation experience. So that's a matter of preference. So what will happen is, like, when you're playing not Grand Theft Auto, if you're playing like 007 and it writes a save file, you'll see a little message in yellow pop up in the bottom corner. Now, I like to see it to know what's happening with the emulator. However, for some, that may take away from the experience of, oh yeah, this is running in an emulator, not in the original console. So you may want to shut that off. Again, that's a matter of preference. We're going to go ahead and Bloomy. What's Bloomy? Oh, Bloomy is just, it looks a little bit cleaner. If you look at the toolbar here, see how clean that is? Let's see, clean blue. Yeah, no, we want Bloomy. Make it look all pretty and happy. So the audio, we're going to leave this on there. The volume's fine. Audio back end. We're going to, again, leave defaults here unless I know better later. So in slot A, we're going to have a memory card now. Advanced game port. Nope, I'm not doing that. Slot B. Now, some of the games do have a microphone, so we're going to set a microphone there. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and leave it as nothing for now. Some of the games have a microphone, and I think Mario Party has a microphone. And normally I will configure that to be the microphone on the audio. Now, when I'm using LED Blinky with the jukebox mode, I have to change that recording device so LED Blinky's listening in the proper place to do the animated lights. So I'm probably going to do a video later on dealing with that, and I might have to actually make a PowerShell script or something to flip the mic source around. But for now, we're just going to leave it. We can go ahead and leave those options alone. The paths we already have set. And then CPU clock override, no, we're going to leave that alone. So we hit OK. And the next thing we're going to have to do is go into our controller settings. So now what we're going to have to do is we're going to actually have to configure the buttons over there. Now, to help us with this, we're going to look up GameCube controller, so that when it's asking us for the key assignments, we have an idea of what the original GameCube controller looked like to try to get the buttons as close of a match as possible. Now, obviously, with my PS3 style controllers, the D-pad and this stick are obviously going to be flip-flopped. But otherwise, the controllers are pretty close. So let's look. We're looking for a picture that we can see clearly. Okay, so we can see Y, X, A, B, and then that should be good. This should be good enough for us to see what we need to see. Now, can we use control and zoom in on that? There we go. Oh, that's a Nintendo Switch. Which one's the original GameCube? That's the original GameCube. See, it didn't have those extra buttons that the Switches have. Alright, so we're going to put this little screen over here so we can see the original controls. And then we're going to move over to the arcade. So let me go to that button now. Also make sure, yes, I'm recording and I'm not on air. So, let me get around my camera stand here. Alright, so we should be here. Yes, we are. And what we're going to do is we're going to grab, this is my first player controller. And under standard controller, we're going to hit configure. And as you can see, now it's asking about everything. So what we want to do is our C stick, which is this yellow one here. The C stick would be then up. Oh, sorry, I gotta change this drop down first to select the right one of these. This is the Logitech. So we're gonna hit that, and then we're gonna hit C stick up, down, left. I gotta make sure the green button's on. Right. And now the modifier would be the push button, I think. Alright, so then we got our C stick here. It's tracking correctly. And then we have our control stick. Well, let's do our D-pad. No. Let's do the buttons first. So A is this one. B would be an X in this case. X would be B. And Y would be Y. Z, if I remember right, there's two triggers up on top. Yeah, so what we can do is for Z, we can do that as the back button. Because as you can see, there's only one button here in the middle here. So we'll do that. And then our start button will have be the start button. And then we have a left trigger. We have a right trigger. We have a left analog. We have a right analog. And it does not look like it's emulating the analog correctly there. So by default, that was some more options. Oh, interesting. Cancel. Okay, so these were originally blank, so that makes me believe that it's not necessary for the games. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it blank here. And the reason why is because I do want to leave this trigger for the mic, because there are some games that require the mic. So now we have the D-pad, up, down, left, right. And then the last stick we have to do is this control stick, which is on the left hand. So we go up, down, left, right. And then the modifier is pushing that in. So up, down, left, right, push in. Now the one thing I'm concerned about is it does not seem to be tracking. Well, I guess it is analog. It's just, it's snapping to position. And I thought these were supposed to be more analog, but that's fine. What's innovative input mean? I'm not sure what that means. Alright, so let me see. We configured all the buttons. We got those. Got the sticks, got the C stick, triggers, D-pad. Yeah, so now we're going to save this profile. So we're going to type in Logitech gamepad. We're going to save this profile. So now this profile is saved. So we're good to go on that controller. We're now going to set port 2 as a standard game controller. We're going to hit configure on this. And now we're going to choose the other joystick, which was... which one is that? I think it's 2-in-1 joystick, this thing. So let's try setting this. So we're going to do D-pad first, just to make sure it registers. Up, yep. Down, left, right. Now you can see it's registering as D-pad because, again, this button has to have the light off. Now it will register like the other joystick does. And that's just an issue with this joystick. So then we're going to again look at the controls. A is X in this case. B is square. X is circle. Y is that button. And Z is... I think it was select. No. Oh, it timed out. Let's get the rest of the stuff first. Okay, so then this is up, down, left, right, and then we push it in. And then the control stick is up, down, left, right, push it in. And again, it's not picking up as analog. So we have left trigger, right trigger. So we got that, we got that, we got this, we got that, we got this. And now we're going to do start. And then we're going to try Z as this button. Sounds good to me. Looks like we've got everything there. So now we're going to hit a new name in here. I'm going to call this PS3 style gamepad. We're going to hit save on that. We're now going to hit OK. We've got our controllers. There is no balance board. We're not scanning real motes. And there is no sensor position currently. I'm going to hit OK. This should be all we need to do to play. So let's go ahead and launch a game. Well, let's first look at, let's look at config. Okay, this is where we've already been. Let's now look at graphics. So we're going to try it with DirectX 12. We're going to try it directly with the RTX. We're going to do 1920 by 1080 resolution forced, automatic, aspect ratio, VSync, and full screen. We do not need to show FPS. We're not going to adjust the window size or anything like that. And render to main window. And that's only important because because before I would have it would show up and then there would be another window floating in the background. It kind of got in the way. So then the only other thing is, let's see, internal resolution. Let's see. So it's recommending that for 1080p. The reason why we're going to go ahead and bump this up is because we've got a kick-ass video card. But also, it should make it a little bit better looking overall. So let's see. Then we've got... let's see. Wireframe texture format. Free look. No. Okay, so these should be good to go. We've already got controllers configured. So config's configured, graphics configured, and controllers are configured. Let's give a shot to my daughter's favorite game. And that should be somewhere in here. Maybe it's under M. Oh, I should be upset if I can't find it. They say at least I think it's GameCube. There's a Luigi's Mansion. Okay, so that's coming under the name Luigi's Mansion. So, Magical Mirror. There it is. Now, last time this would have a lot of artifacts and it would look kind of funny. So let's see how it looks now. Alright, so this is the yellow text that I was talking about that you'll see. Now it's running really fast. It does look like I'm getting sound output. Wow, this is so much faster than she's used to. So we're going to say normal. Okay, the buttons are working. Now the question I have is the analog going to be working? Is it format? Will you format it? Sure. Okay, so you can see, well, yeah, it doesn't seem to be doing analog well. Let's go ahead and format that memory card. Let's move the mouse off screen. I'll have to see if there's a way to hide the mouse. We're going to exit for now, because the mouse cursor showing up is really annoying me. And I don't like that it's showing me the text, so let's go ahead and hit exit there. Now, did it exit the entire emulator or just the game? Okay, so it came back to here, which is good. That's what we want. So let's go back into config, and we're going to remove the box for on-screen display messages. Let's go ahead and leave that. And we're going to go ahead and pause it if it leaves the emulation window. That way, if something happens in the screen, like flashes and goes to another application, say an antivirus scan finished, my daughter won't come screaming to me that her game got messed up because of stupid pop-up. That sounds like it's a good idea for me. So we're doing all that, and then we're checking. So that was okay. I was also curious about what the exit key was. So I do want to see where hotkey settings. So I was just checking here to make sure that stop is the escape command. And eventually that will be the exit command, but I'm not going to do that until I've set up the front end. And there's our save slots. Now we'll be able to use these when we are trying to actually cheat our way through. And what I might do for that is, because this game uses the gamepads, what I might do is set up my save and load slots as being the arcade buttons. That way, while we're playing, we can actually use save and load slots very easily with these. That's a good idea. I did not do that before. I like it now. I think that's what I'll do. But not right now. So let me go ahead and close this. And we're now going to go actually see if this is performing the way we want. But we'll give it a quick try. Oh, that's what I was looking for. I knew I was forgetting something, and that was to see about hiding the mouse cursor. So let's see if there's a way to do that. View, graphics, show FPS, hide mouse cursor, right there. Perfect. So now, things should look beautiful. And we won't get the message about accessing the cards, so no yellow stuff. I do like that better, because the yellow stuff before was a little bit distracting at times. This feels a lot more authentic. And before, on my old system, I used to definitely get some frame skip here, but none of that seems to be happening. Which, of course, is appreciated. So we're going to start a new game here. Let's see what happens. Now, I used to get a lot... Okay, I'm getting my sound. I used to get a lot of artifacts or textures would appear incorrectly. The mirror wouldn't show up correctly. there'd be no reflection in it. This should make my daughter extremely happy. Let's see. So far, so good. I'm not sure if I've ever seen that creepy guy. I don't think I've ever seen the creepy guy. I don't think he ever showed up. I thought he was going to play rock, paper, scissors with himself, but I guess not. Alright. That's good. This really makes me also interested to see... Yeah, and you can see the texture quality is so much better because before also I didn't scale it up to the 1080 resolution. So right now alone, this is at least 3 to 4 times better than it's ever been in the past. So let's see. Move the little stick. Tell him to go over here. Come on, open the door. So I'm guessing that's telling us we have one choice. Oh, and the reflections in the floor. I don't think they ever showed up either. So this is far and away better than I had it in the past with this new system. He's gonna kick him in the ass? That'd be funny. Anyway. So it looks like this game's working. We're going to check one more game, and then we're going to consider this a good emulator. And let's see what we got. So even though this modder takes a long time, it's nice to see in the stream that it's popping up quick. Let's look at... Let's see what the other one... Oh god, there's Pokemon. I forgot about that. Let's see Pokemon Colosseum. And again, I like that it's loading on the main monitor. This is a concern because my daughter streams off this secondary. I do like that that yellow stuff's not showing up. So I definitely recommend you uncheck that box for on-screen messages because I can tell you right now, this is way better without having that yellow stuff show up. But, let's see... Yeah, everything here looks correct too. So that's awesome. That is awesome, awesome, awesome. So let me come back over to my desk. Alright, so as you can see, we now have a Nintendo emulator. Now, if I do ever figure out how to do the Wiimotes and stuff, and I decide to put... use some of the Wii images on there, I'll let you know. I'll make a video for that, of course, but this is how you install the GameCube. The GameCube was one of the very underrated systems. It struggled in the market. It did not catch on as quickly, but it was actually a pretty powerful little box, and it had a lot of really good games on it. But PlayStation at that point was just wiping the floor with everybody. But it had a lot of nice, clean games on it. So, if you guys like this video, please like, subscribe, comment. And again, I'm trying to grow the channel, so share the hell out of this video with any geeky friends you know. Hell, just put it up on your own channel and your own Facebook page and all that stuff. And hopefully get me some more subscribers and stuff. And the more I can grow, the more I can do. And that would be awesome. But anyway. As always, thank you for checking out my video, and there'll be more to come soon because I am still rebuilding this thing and I'm coming up with all kinds of new project ideas to do. So, talk to you guys soon, and thanks again for watching. Thanks again for watching. If you haven't already, please click like on this video and subscribe to my channel for future updates. If If you'd like to see more content, please check out the following locations. I primarily use YouTube to store the final versions of my how-to videos. Facebook is used for communication, including notices about upcoming videos, behind-the-scenes photos, and occasional live streams assisting users with their own systems. I also stream on Twitch while recording these videos so you can see behind the scenes, machine setup, and of course the occasional bloopers. Check out these channels and let me know what you guys think. And as always, thanks again for watching.